Curiosity. What are you so curious about? Everything, Mr. Curiosity.
Alrighty, folks. Joe Snedeker here, Mr. Curiosity, and the gang. And Mindi has to leave early, so this is going to be a quick podcast.
No,
right?
no.
See, I just want to make
Don't
you feel
blame
bad.
me. I'm going to be here for the entirety.
She'll stay for 2 hours.
I'm going to stay late.
The morning crew is stripped down. Mindi Ramsey, we have John Meyer here, and because you are the man behind the scenes, how much information do we want to give?
I can, the bell's,
Just initials?
The bell's there. The bell's there.
Let's bring him into the forefront.
The bell's there.
All right, Shawn Dunn is here. He's our web master, only in my lingo, but he's really media content supervisor, provider.
Digital director.
Okay,
I know.
Media
content supervisor provider.
I like that. I may switch it.
that seems a little long to me, but whatever. But he's the man behind the curtain.
What are
He's
you
the man
providing?
behind the curtains. Yeah, what are you providing?
Content.
Digitally.
Digitally content.
The funny part is just think in 1992 or something, if someone said this is a future job, you'd be like, huh? Because there's no internet, there's no cell phone, there's nothing.
Dial up the.
Yeah. Well, was that even around in 92?
Yes, it
92?
was.
I think it
because I
started
did a
like
story
92,
on it in
93.
'92. Yeah.
That was when it was.
Middle school?
May I
Probably
ask
middle
when you were
school
in
for me?
college?
I graduated in 2000, so 96 to 2000. Definitely had internet for that. But
Yeah.
I'd
But
say
it was
middle
at the
school
infancy,
maybe.
yeah.
Middle school maybe internet kind of.
So some future wizard sees you when you're in third grade and says, you're going to be doing this job in the future that deals with things that don't even exist now. You'd be like, tell me more, great wizard.
Maybe. I mean, we had computers
I know,
and
but
things
this
like
whole
that. So it
world
wasn't,
now-
digital
We
wasn't
couldn't
a
have
weird
predicted
thing.
all this.
No,
no,
imagine like
definitely not.
WNEP.com and emails and internet. And
Yeah.
We couldn't have predicted the interweb.
It's
It just,
weird,
except for
isn't it? Like
if
that
you were
whole-
Al Gore, maybe. But
Yeah, that's right. All right, so we're going to do a brown bag. Keep your questions coming. Brownbag@WNEP.com. Brownbag@WNEP.com. That's what we do, right? The morning crew and Shawn and guests sometimes, we answer your questions. And this is only as good as the questions provided.
sometimes they're bad.
They're lame. And then what? We can't make fun of the lamers, can we?
Well, we can.
John Meyer, I can't believe you. I mean,
I know,
you're the
Mr.
Boy Scout.
I
You're
know, I
the
think
nice guy.
Mindy, I'm a dark influence on him. And
He
I think
is
it's slowly,
definitely
it's
a
slowly
dark
trickling
influence,
in.
right?
You know what? I thought it was me, but it's really you.
It's me.
Yes.
It's him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you saw all my friends, I'm like Mr. Goody of my bunch.
Really?
Really?
yeah.
They're worse than you?
Oh, yeah.
Hard to believe.
Wow.
I was brought up by a pack of wolves.
You're just slightly feral. It's okay.
And I'm the one with no vices. All right, who's going first then? Shawn is going to go
Oh,
first.
Shawn,
because
go
he's
ahead
the
and
new
pick.
guy. And
Shawn
Shawn, here's
has
the
to
bell.
sit through this week
It's like,
after
I'm
week
the
after
new
week.
guy who's been here from the
He's
beginning.
in every
Yeah.
podcast that has to sit through it.
I'm
Right,
the
but
new guy
now-
who literally from episode 1.
Yeah,
has
but
been
you
here.
never picked, did you? This is your first pick.
First pick ever, yeah.
First pick.
Yeah.
I
It
can't
better be
believe
a
it
good
took
one.
this
I know,
long.
this is going to be bad. I already know
As
it.
digital content producer,
Sir,
provider.
I like this one. This is
All right,
good.
you
I
like
like
it?
the
It's a
good
good
one. We got
start.
to ease
Good
it in.
now.
All right,
Woo,
we're
woo,
good.
woo,
All right,
woo.
so this one is from Joe,
All right, Big Joe.
and it says, for weddings in NEPA, the customary gift is cash instead of a physical present. I think in other parts of the country, a physical gift is more customary. Is this a local thing?
Wow, now I'm getting an education. I know nothing about this. Do you guys?
Well, last time I went to a wedding with you, you brought a brown paper bag that said, "Here's your money, honey," or something on like that on it. So,
All right, so
Like
here's,
ransom.
well, here's the deal. My wife was away for a wedding, and I was invited to a wedding. She was away with her parents for a week, so I'm alone going to a wedding. And she always, when we're going to a wedding, tells me how to dress. Go get the card, and everything's appropriate and official.
Of
So
course.
now I'm on my own. And this is my first wedding on my own. I'm like, this is great. I dress semi-casual, right? Mm-hmm. No fancy shiny shoes. And I'm like, I'm not going to go get a card. A card? Could you picture me getting a wedding card with a little foofy edge to it and everything?
No, I can't picture that.
So I get a brown bag. Hey, this is brown bag segment. I get a brown bag like you'd have for lunch when you're going to elementary school. And it was about, a foot, one of those bags about a foot or so tall. Not like a big grocery bag.
no,
but
it was like a sack
medium-sized one.
lunch.
Sack lunch. And I go to the ATM and I get, I think it was $200 in ones. $200 in ones.
That is awesome.
And I just filled up the bag with
Wow.
$1 bills.
Crumple them all
And and then I crumbled the top of the bag and I put that message on there. What did I don't even remember.
Something
what
like it's money for your honey, or I don't know, something like that.
And that was my wedding present.
I just thought it was very creative.
Yeah, but my wife would, and they loved it too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one they're going to remember. But my wife would have never allowed that to happen if she went to the wedding with me. Isn't that pretty weird?
That is weird.
But back to the question. So do you have the answer? Anybody? You guys are, Mindi, you're probably the most prominent world traveler.
Well, I mean, I've lived in a lot of places.
Yeah, so is this
I mean, you've lived in Western PA as well.
No, but I think he said other countries. What do they do?
No, other
just
places.
a local. Is it a local thing or?
I can
are
say from
gifts
experience
more common
that
elsewhere?
when we got married, most people brought money. Charlotte McBride, who is from the South,
Right.
she brought a present.
Oh, she did.
And she said she was really surprised. She had only been here for a little while. I think this was her first Northeastern PA wedding that she went to.
Right.
That she was stunned that there weren't a table full of presents.
Oh,
She didn't know where
so
to put her
that
present.
Confirms this question.
I think it does. And she said in the South, everyone brings a present to the wedding.
Get out of
Oh, that's funny.
But there
See,
are registries.
There
Like,
are,
there's
but
one-
a lot of
but
that, and the
family,
Northeast,
is
I
it
think
family?
now that goes to the shower.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
right.
showers.
The
the
brides
Right.
have a
True.
shower, and all the gifts go to the
Right,
shower, and then you get money for the wedding. I think that's kind of. It was interesting though, because Charlotte was like, "Where am I supposed to put the gift?"
Yeah, if I were to give a gift at a wedding, I'd feel like a total idiot.
really?
Yeah.
See, I think the Midwest is more half and half. A lot of
Really?
people give money, but a lot of people do give gifts as well. So, but it's not all one or the other, I feel like.
And come to think of it, where I grew up, there'd be a lot of gifts too at weddings.
See, you were kind of Midwestern, even though you're
Where I grew up
Pennsylvania.
wants to be Midwest.
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah,
it
yeah.
also wants to be Northeast, and it doesn't know
Where to go?
what to
Well,
do.
you're getting close to the border.
He said
Yeah.
pop growing up.
Oh yeah, it's pop, not soda.
Yeah, that's a
So did
Midwest
I.
thing,
Yeah.
So did I.
Is Yinza?
Not where I live. That's more towards Pittsburgh, but close. But if I called it soda when I was a kid, everyone would have made fun of me. My cousins called it soda, and we'd be like, "Oh, soda, you're so fancy."
Soda was fancy.
Oh yeah, when they come in
Wow.
and say soda, oh, you're from New York, and you call it soda.
And in Northeastern PA, you have to say soda.
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 My parents will ask my daughters when they were little, do they want a pop? And they thought they meant lollipop.
Oh,
and they
yeah.
were like, yeah. No, they meant
To me,
soda.
it's like pop is like a Norman Rockwell 50s thing. Pop. the
It's just
old time.
Midwest. They still say pop.
That's Iowa.
Hey, what do I know? I still say, remember this from last week or 2 weeks ago? I still say width, length, and
Height.
height.
Height. Oh yeah,
I
that
can't
was a good
believe this.
revelation.
You got to change it to height.
I
Height.
can't even say height. That sounds wrong.
You have to
I
say
can't
it.
be the only one. You guys thought too, no?
No, I knew.
Height's a pretty
I'm an
important word
educated-
in my vernacular. So
It's what?
it's a pretty important word. In
Height?
my height, it comes up
He's
a lot
kinda-
with me.
he's kinda
It's
tall.
amazed. I'm embarrassed of myself, and I consider myself a well-educated man and an educator, and I was saying my whole
But
life.
it just
height.
depends on what you grew up with.
And that's what people
know.
here say.
People made fun of me when I moved to Bangor, Maine, because I was anchoring the news one time, and I can't even say it anymore the right way, or the wrong way. I said something about there was a fire. It started on the rough.
You said rough.
I said rough.
I know people that say it that way.
Some people say rough.
And people laughed at me, and I'm like, why are you laughing? Like, I didn't think I said anything wrong, but now I say roof.
So that's a lesson, and
Yeah.
we're victims of our circumstances.
All those words: chimney,
Oh, yeah.
pillow,
Yeah.
battery.
Battery. Yeah.
Pancakes.
My grandma said pancakes.
She says battery.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where I grew up, if you're going out to eat, you're going to get a hamburger. Not a hamburger,
Hamburger.
just a hamburger.
They would say that in Maine, too. They would say Hamburg, and I thought it was so weird.
Just a hamburger.
But I still say height should be height and not height.
Well,
Well,
no one's going to correct you in Northeastern PA. So
you can say whatever you want, Joe.
There's a GTH there. Why would you?
No, there's not.
There's not.
No, it ends in a T, man.
Ends in a T.
Okay, here we go. All right. Why do?
Do you need the bell?
Oh, this is good.
Is there
I
a
love
bell?
this. I love this.
I wish people could see his reaction when he read it.
Why do people go slow in the passing lane? Always have the same look on their face.
That is awesome.
Tell me that isn't hilarious.
So true.
Why do people who go slow in the passing lane always have the same look on their face? So is that universal? Sean, could you describe that look? There, it's
Can
like
you do it for us?
It's
Sean?
like an unawareness.
That's what it is.
The mouth is open.
Mouth slightly
Mouth
agape.
open.
Yeah.
Mouth slightly agape.
Because you're daydreaming, dude.
Yeah.
I had no
They're
idea.
gonna- at some point, they're going to realize they just traveled 30 miles and don't remember any of it. That's those people.
And there's a
So it's
whole
an
line of
aloof-
cars behind
It's an
them.
aloofness. The mouth's open.
It's not intentional.
No,
you,
they're
It's unaware.
You go into a daze.
And you're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I just backed everyone up.
Yeah.
So what other characteristics? The mouth is partially open. Is the seat
Blank stare.
blank stare?
The seat's straight up.
Yeah, the
Straight up
seat
and
is
tending to
never
be
back.
very close to very close to the steering wheel.
Dangerously close. If the airbag were to go up.
I'm actually fascinated
is
sometimes where you
good, yeah.
see how close to the steering
Yeah.
wheel
I
some
know.
people could drive.
I know.
There's never a smile, right? It's always a look of seriousness, I think.
Yeah.
And complete unawareness that
Unawareness,
of what's
yeah.
going on.
Around them.
So
yes.
we don't know why, but it's a good observation, sir.
It's a great question.
Whoever sent that in, good stuff. All right,
That's
Mindy.
And
perfect brown
you
bag.
think that was me one day, and it never.
No,
I have
made
never.
that up. I made
Okay.
that up just to bother you. Mindy is not a slow lane.
I would be so angry if somebody thought that that was me because like that is I'm so anti that. It's so frustrating to me.
We'll see if someone breaks the cycle. We have to be extra observant.
We'll
If
observe
you
now.
notice someone, then
Passing
don't.
someone
Yeah,
on the right.
and they're like all
because they're
happy,
going
leaning back in their car. Never
I
happens.
caught myself driving back from the eclipse that I was that guy.
Wait, what?
We were on, an expressway on Route 15 north of Williamsport. It's 4-lane. And I got passed on the right by a couple people, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, but were you going extra slow?
Not extra, but too slow.
you were
Did
probably
have to-
exhausted, right?
I think I was.
Was
Yeah.
your mouth agape?
Were you next to the steering wheel?
I think everyone in the car was asleep except for me,
Yeah.
and I was going too slow.
It was
was
a
me.
tiring day.
Mindy, you were struggling with this question. Why?
Well, I'm a little tired. No, this is actually a good question. It's a good observation.
Ooh, all right.
Why is it on the morning show and the 6 p.m. news, why do the guys always sit on the left? I have watched WNEP for 30 years, and it was that way back then.
Is this true?
From Nathan. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way it's always been here.
Longer than that, even.
Yeah. But I've been at other stations, and I've sat on the right.
That was
so-
my next question. Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't know.
Or the vice versa.
Vice versa.
whatever.
I did
Yeah.
find it interesting when I first got here that it was considered that the right was the male chair and the left was the female chair. Is that the
No, no,
when
no.
you're looking at the set?
When
Screen
you're
right.
looking at the set,
Screen
you're
right.
supposed- you're right. You're right.
Screen right.
Green right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was told that that's just what it is. And the single anchor then, if Mindy say I'm off, she has to move to the male chair.
Yeah, which
This
is a little
And it was
bit.
even
this
described
It
that
sounds a
way.
little bit
It was even
discriminatory, doesn't it?
described-
Yeah.
If it's a single anchor, the female then sits in the male chair.
I'm sensing a little patriarchal.
I feel like we should maybe change the vernacular. It's
Yeah.
just the single anchor chair versus the dual anchor setup.
What's funny is if we were to, and this is just a behind the scenes tidbit, is if Mindy and I were to say, all right, this morning we're going to be different.
And just stand up and shift.
And just flip it. We have templates in our system for all the shows. So then all of the graphics that come up on the bottom of the screen
Yeah.
with our names are all loaded to have it for
yeah,
which
yeah.
side of the screen we're on. So we would just have the wrong names underneath us.
But that would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? I could be John Mayer.
Mindy, this is your chance, though, to give us a patriarchal vent. Come on.
No, I honestly, I don't.
Let it out.
I don't care that much.
It probably was just done to make it easy to do that for the templates
Right.
and stuff like that.
And that makes sense. As
you
long as
always
they're not
have it.
saying like one chair is better than the other.
Okay.
When
But if
you
you
know.
look at a car from the front, the main driver's there. If you're looking on the right, now the driver's seat in control, the man on the right in control. Come on, lose it.
When I was in Bangor, I sat on that side, and the male anchor sat on the other side. So
I'm going to bring this up next time. He is off, and you're solo anchoring. I'm going to say, Mindy, don't take his chair.
well, no, you have to because that's the solo
She'll just
anchor
sit in the
template.
other chair.
Well, here's another little behind the scenes. Speaking of the male chair or the chair, is that I have my own chair
Oh, okay, yeah.
that no other anchor can use.
Because it's
Because
so
it lowers
tall.
your
And they had to
Yeah.
order a special
It's
chair
so low.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
chair's
that would
low.
be lower so that they could fit me in the screen right, so that my head wouldn't get cut
And
off.
and we've also found out you can't do the weather here because your head gets cut off.
Sean,
Yeah.
you were involved with all the figuring out of
figuring
the
out which
logistics of
chairs
what are
would
we
work.
going to do with John.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, back then.
We got to get him a new
At
chair.
least a week. At least a week of trying
Just
multiple kinds of chairs.
how it's all gonna
try
fit.
to
Well, you
figure
know
out.
you're an anomaly. Just
I know. I accept
you
it.
know,
I actually like that I have my own chair.
I like it.
It's
All
so
right.
funny. I was watching the NCAA championship with the women, you know, obviously like Iowa was in it and they were doing so good and it was fun to watch. But I remember watching, I think it was South Carolina had a woman on there that was 6'7", and I'm like, oh, she's the same height as John Mayer.
Yeah.
My kids were amazed by that
Yeah.
when they realized, like, wow, she's as tall as you.
It is crazy. Yeah.
All right, big guy,
My
you're
turn.
up, Mr. Tall Guy. He doesn't even have to look, Mindy. He doesn't even have to get off his seat. He just
I know.
reaches his arm. He's like Stretch Man, and
all
he
that
just goes
height.
right in there. All that height.
Height.
Height. Right.
It's all that height.
Hi, Joe. Maybe this is more of a question for Mindy, you know, because she's a woman and all.
Oh,
Segue.
sexism.
But can someone explain permanent jewelry to me? I do not understand what makes it permanent. Does it get ironed onto your body?
Well, wait a minute.
Makes no
She's the only
sense
one
to me.
laughing. I never even heard that
I
term.
didn't even
don't
know
even know what
permanent
they were-
jewelry is a thing.
What is
Makeup,
permanent
I've
jewelry?
heard makeup, like.
Yeah.
where you
Okay.
get-
So you guys haven't
No.
heard this?
Permanent jewelry.
So this was actually something I think that came up in a bingo that I was actually at. It was the gift. It was the prize for one of the bingos was permanent jewelry. And so at first I thought tattoos, but that's
Yeah, that's what I
that's
thought.
not what they
Tattoo
meant.
necklace,
No,
tattoo
no.
bracelet.
Permanent jewelry is like a bracelet that is welded on, so you can't take it off.
Oh.
This one I can actually take off because it's a screwball, so I can unscrew it. But
it's
it is
almost challenging.
it's
then.
hard
That's
to get it off.
interesting.
And I can't take it on and off too many times because the metal will eventually break. So this isn't really permanent, but it's that idea. They just
So do you
weld
just
it on.
keep that one on?
I keep this one on all the time. Yeah,
But you put on jewelry that then is
a bracelet that's welded on. They have
it
to
keep-
and then you don't take it off.
It's shackle.
Yes, it's shackle-like.
Yeah,
Or earrings where the loop is soldered, or right.
I've never seen that. Maybe, yeah,
Interesting.
you could do that, but I don't know.
Then it's stuck in your ear forever.
Yeah,
I'm liking this.
So that's permanent jewelry.
that's permanent
That's
jewelry.
permanent jewelry.
And I used to have
Permanent nose ring? You did?
I used to have a belly ring.
Okay.
And I ended up having. Is this too personal?
No, I love it.
Are you sure? Okay.
Keep going.
Just ring
We've
the
got
bell.
the bell.
Ring the bell if I get too
No,
graphic
this is-
for you. No, when I had Ava, my
Okay.
first child, I had a belly ring that was in, and I had an emergency C-section, and they always tell you if you go into surgery, you have to take all your jewelry off. So I was freaking out. They're like, we have to take you to the OR right now. And I was like, but I have a belly ring. Like I was, you know how you get really irrational
Yeah.
at that point. They're like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. So yeah, I left it in. But then with Macy, I did take it out. So
So if you're at the airport and you have a belly ring, that's gonna.
it doesn't
does
trigger
not do
anything.
anything?
Does
No.
jewelry not trigger
Not yet.
anything?
Like if you have a watch on or something, it sometimes it
An
does.
amount, like.
Yeah.
I
Like a
had
denser-
earbuds on and I forgot, and they were down into my chest. And the guy stopped me and he goes, "We have to look at your chest." And he was like, "And
Maybe
was
because
just
that
little
has some
earbuds with a little
electronic
bit of
in
metal
it.
on it."
Maybe because it has electronic in it that it
I wonder.
sensed it.
Yeah.
And I forgot I even had them on.
Yeah.
Maybe you need a big belly.
Yeah, but if you have like a wedding ring or
Yeah, I
something.
guess I've gone through with my
you
wedding
go
band and
through
it never
yeah,
sets it
doesn't
off.
set it off.
Belt
So maybe-
buckles usually are
Belt buckles?
a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So perhaps for the next wedding I go to, I'm going to offer up permanent jewelry.
Permanent
I'm
jewelry.
going
You
to bring
could.
a welder with me.
You
some
could.
rod iron, and we're just going to go.
Come with like
I
a
show up
solder
with a
gun.
welding rod, yes, and the helmet.
Oh my gosh, that's a
This
great
could be
idea.
it. And I'm the permanent jewelry inflictor.
I think
Yeah.
you helped Carol out.
I hope I helped Carol out.
Good question, Carol.
Yeah,
Yes.
Carol, the three guys had
Yeah,
never
I
even
learned
heard
We
of
had
it.
no
today.
idea.
There we go.
Permanent jewelry.
Yes, there you go.
All right, Sean.
You guys
You're
all
up
need
again.
it.
My
Sean's
turn
right,
again
though,
already.
otherwise known as shackles.
Right. The dark side of permanent jewelry.
That could be a documentary.
Coming to WNEP Plus.
Good plug there, Sean.
Oh, that's a long one. We like, Sean, no compliments, no bird questions, no French-derived words, and you got to keep them short. That's breaking the rule.
Yeah, this one seems a little bit of a complaint.
Oh, we like those. They're
The
funny.
complaints are
They're
fun.
funny.
So here we go. The subject line is "Get rid of the pictures." I feel like
Is
I'm
this the
watching.
one we did already?
Well, this one started out good. I feel like I'm watching Hatchie Malachi on WNEP.
Okay, great show, by the way.
Okay,
Yep.
boys and girls, please send your pictures in to Mindi or John. I mean, come on. We have Kurt and his dog show, Mindi and John with their feel-good pictures, Joe who always comes off like he hates holidays. But God forbid We better get excited about St. Patrick's Day. Joe and Jose, the dysfunctional leprechaun, are too much. I like his friend from Honesdale, but not as the dysfunctional leprechaun. It's just over the top.
Also, this is a series of complaints.
Yeah, they just
Yes.
were airing it all out.
Yeah.
It started about pictures and just kept going.
Yeah.
So what do you guys
What did the
think?
person like? Was there something in there they liked?
Well, they mentioned
They
Hatch
like-
Laddie,
they like-
so I thought that we're going down a different road.
The only thing they like is your friend from Honesdale.
And he's not technically from Honesdale, but he does appear
He works
mostly
up
naked in Honesdale.
Mostly naked in Honesdale.
That's where it can be
Interesting.
found.
So he's upset over you guys with the pictures. I wonder why that bothers some people, because we've had this before. Why would that, of all things, bother people?
I don't know. Some people love it, and it
I-
does bother some people.
I feel like if I didn't have pictures to share,
You wouldn't
I
have a
would
job.
be upset by it.
Oh, a
So
little
maybe that person
picture
just
envy.
They
Yeah.
feel like FOMO. They're
Sean
missing
is
out.
here as the deep,
Yeah.
maybe eccentric thinker. So you're seeing it from his perspective. He's angry at something he can't participate in.
It's misplaced anger. He just doesn't have pictures to share, but feels like that nobody should share pictures.
Oh.
Wow.
See, we like the pictures because, well, if I may speak for John as well,
She could.
we talk about all the time, those pictures often bring us to events that we didn't have a camera person or a journalist or
Very
a reporter
good
to go
point.
to.
Yep. It's
so
more
they'll-
coverage.
Yeah, it's more coverage of local events and things people are doing, and it's fun to get a little, like, peek into their lives. That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
And as for his other complaint, Sean, you have to psychoanalyze me now because he's right. I'm anti most holidays, but yet push St. Patrick's Day on everybody. What am I doing?
I think it's because it's not
like
the
therapy.
kind of holiday that everybody celebrates and looks forward to in that way.
So I'm being like,
So you're trying to be the outsider, like
Counterculture.
Lots of people celebrate Christmas, lots of people celebrate Easter or whatever. St. Patrick's Day is sort of like not traditionally celebrated like those holidays. Obviously,
That's
you
not
have your-
true, Sean. It's because he doesn't have to go to church for
yeah, I
it.
was going to say.
And he doesn't have to go to his in-laws.
It's a
So the
non-church
reason I
holiday, is
love
that
St.
what it is?
Patrick's Day is, first of all, the green, it's March, everything about it is like spring and energy and fun. And all the other holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, I mean, if you want to throw in like Valentine's Day and stuff, they all involve me to do things I don't necessarily want to do. In-laws, long mass, buy stuff, decorate. I don't want to do any of that. Okay, does that make me a bad person?
Sort of.
Maybe a little, but that's
I love my
okay.
in-laws, but you have to go. I have short attention span. I don't want to hang out with anyone for 8 hours all day. Okay, it's not even you guys.
But you have to hang out with us every day for that long.
Oh yeah, that's different. It's
Yeah.
periodic and it's
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
No,
He's
but
paid
the
for it.
reason I love St. Patrick's Day, could you guys think honestly of another holiday, if you want to even call it a holiday, that there are no obligations? Now the 4th of July is an awesome holiday. It's summer, fireworks, but there's still
The
obligations.
picnics.
Yeah,
and
you
the
gotta do
half
stuff.
the grill.
Oh, we gotta see fireworks. You gotta grill.
Well, don't you have a parade obligation after all these years? Like, you have to go to the parade. Your friends make you.
They kind of make me. I'm a big fan of St. Patrick's Day, and I think it's the obligation part. But yet, let's reverse this. Let's say it's Christmas and I have nowhere to go. I have no family.
You'd be sad.
You'd be really sad.
I'd be sad loser.
Mm-hmm.
So I admit that I am a hypocrite. Okay? All right. And Sean's helping me work through my problem.
You know, Sean,
Talk about it in our session after this.
Okay.
he could be your life coach.
Can we make appointments with Shawn?
Sean, when do you have
Sure,
availability
I'll
next
check
week?
I'll check my schedule.
What's your copay?
It was included in his title, provider.
Yes.
So it's a mental
Yes.
health care provider.
Yes,
That's all
digital
part of it.
content / mental health care.
Yeah, provider was in there.
Oh, I love
Provider was
it.
in there. All right, here we go. Another question. And oh my goodness, it's all over the place here. There's a big one up there. This is from Linda Monday. Is that a fake name or what? How do I even find the question? Am I missing something here?
Shawn, he might need some
Let me
help.
see.
It looks tattered.
Where's
Why is
the
that one so
question?
tattered?
It's been in there a long time,
That's
maybe.
the question there.
Since the fraudulent government bought up most of the news media,
Oh.
that is a rash statement right there that I don't know if that's justified. Just wondering if they're controlling the weather with all these airplanes that I hear crop planes looking at them going up and down all the time, and I see white stripes, and then they just keep getting bigger and bigger, and more planes are coming. So they tell you when the sun comes out now. All right. All of this has one message in there, and you probably guys have heard of not contrails, but what?
Chemtrails.
I think this is a chemtrailer here, and it's funny how. So out of a plane's exhaust, there's a lot of water vapor, and that condenses in the upper atmosphere to make stripes of water, clouds. They're man-made clouds courtesy of the jet. So people then confuse that with out of the jet must be coming chemicals. And this is seeding the people below, and we're all mind-controlled government zombies. So I ran into a couple chemtrail people, and I had a conversation. And I just want to introduce this because they said to me, oh, yeah, Snedeker, if that's just water vapor, why is it on some days you'll see a jet go overhead and there's nothing behind it, yet on other days there's a long trail and it lasts all the way across the sky? And they think like that's their actual point. Yeah, like, And I'm like, that's the level of ignorance of some of these people. So on some days, what comes out of the jet at 25, 30,000 feet is water vapor, but the air is so dry at that level, it immediately dissolves and dissipates into the air. So you don't see it. The air is so dry at 30,000 feet. If the air up that height is saturated or near saturation, just like here on the Earth's surface, then the contrail exists and lasts and stretches across the whole sky. We experience this as humans. You ever see on a cold winter day, maybe you can see your breath, but it doesn't persist. It just comes out and then it dissipates. Other days, if it's like a cold, moist atmosphere, you'll exhale and the breath will stay and you'll see the condensation. Or no?
Is it like the really cold day and you take really hot water and throw it in the air and it...
Similar, yeah. So it depends on the relative humidity and dew point and moisture content of the air that the plane is flying through. Sometimes it lasts, sometimes it evaporates rather quickly. That's why they vary from time to time and
I'm
place to
glad
place.
you explained that because I have heard people use that argument before. And
they think there's a pilot hitting a switch. Chemtrail.
No, that's a really good explanation, even for people that don't think they're chemtrails.
Right.
Yeah. So
Because
that's
you
why
do
on some
notice
days
there's a
it-
difference. Some
yeah.
days there's so many contrails in the air
And that's because the upper
that it
atmosphere is
almost
moist.
makes it a little bit cloudy.
Yeah, and meteorologists know this. That's moisture increasing at the jet stream level, 20, 25, 30,000 feet. And that's why the air is so saturated. Now a plane goes through it, all of its moisture just stays there with it, and it lasts for hours sometimes.
Yeah, because sometimes if you're in a busy air travel area,
That's why,
it can
though.
almost cloud up the sky a little bit
Yeah,
because they
just-
stick around.
Just like here at the surface, weather in the upper atmosphere varies from day to day, even hour to hour. And that's what controls the propagation and length of contrails. But this statement started out like this, remember, since this fraudulent government.
Bought all the media.
That's
So
a
there you go.
deep assumption right there.
There you go. Well, Linda's
Mindi.
wearing her little tinfoil hat. It's
Linda,
okay.
no offense, but I'm just trying to give you some facts. You can believe what you want to believe. Mindy will support you and say you're a wonderful person.
That's my role in life, to support others and say they are wonderful. This is Eric from the Skook.
I like it already.
I don't know. Not sure, Eric.
Look at John. He has that look.
I'm trying to read over her shoulder.
What happens if you're riding up an escalator, then as you near the top, all of a sudden you trip and fall? Well, I'm guessing.
You're going up.
He's
and you
trying to
fall
make...
forward? Or
Yeah, I don't even... That's
backward?
like... I can see... I thought he was going
I
to
don't
say you
know.
jump or something. But
Yeah,
you
no,
fall
just you
forward.
fall. Yeah.
So you're riding up.
You're almost to the top.
Fall
Well, I guess
forward,
if you hit, you
you're
can
gonna
trip
hit
and
the
fall, and
floor
you'll just
faster.
fall. Yeah, you'll still fall.
Yeah, or if you like fall backwards, you could just like somersault down the somersault.
How
You
down.
far
could
back
trip.
would
You could
fall if
trip
it's
at the
going
top
up?
of an
You'd
escalator
fall
if you don't
back,
step
but
over that
you're
little
still
lip.
moving forward.
Right.
You got to step over the lip, or you'll trip
Right.
at the top.
Yeah.
Because you know, with the kids, you got to show them.
I
that
know.
when they're
You
little.
always have to like
Did he
pull
mean
them over
the
it.
opposite? Maybe you're going down, the elevator cable breaks, you trip,
Not
and
an
you then...
elevator.
No, it says you're riding
Escalator.
up an escalator.
Oh, escalator. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I was thinking elevator the whole time.
No,
No,
So you're up an
escalator.
escalator.
Then as you near the top,
What happens
you
if you
fall.
You
Fall.
fall, but
trip
it
and
doesn't
fall.
say which way you fall.
Yeah. Plus, I think I've done that. Many times.
Thankfully, you survived.
Yeah.
Thanks, Eric, from
Thanks,
the Spook.
Eric.
I think you
We
would
went
fall.
to Universal Studios with the kids, and I think Jake, our 6-year-old, loved the escalators at the airport and other places as much as he did the rides.
Oh, they
everywhere
are
else.
fun
He
when
loves
you're-
escalators.
Those flat people mover ones are
Oh,
fun.
Those are
are
great.
fun too.
Like those?
Oh,
He
I
loved
love
the people
those.
movers.
I
Yeah.
go out of my way to not use them. My
I
wife
love
thinks I'm
those.
nuts. That's she loves them too. I'm like, no, how
You
dare
just
that thing
you
offer
barely
me?
put any effort forward, and you're just walking like a
Yeah,
superhero.
the kids thought we were flying,
Yeah.
walking
Isn't that
across
something?
those.
It's a
They
cool
make me
feeling.
mad.
It's a cool feeling. You just got to try it.
I'm almost like they're saying, do you need help walking? I'm like, no, stop this. Get away from me.
I think you've got a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. I think you should
Sean,
just-
No,
Okay.
the
Why don't
frustrating
I
thing
like-
about those is when you have a slow person on the left.
Oh,
They
yes.
stand.
Oh yeah, you can't
People
stand
that
on the
stand
left.
on the left.
They stand
Oh,
on the
Oh,
left.
you're on the people
You're on the
movers.
people mover.
there are
and
two
you get on
lanes.
there,
There are
and
two
they
lanes on it.
Stand in the left.
Oh, they're not walking.
They're not
You
walking.
gotta walk on the left.
Yeah.
If you're
It's
going
like
to
driving
stand,
on
you
the
have to
left.
be on the right side.
Yeah,
You
standing
can
on the
stand
right.
if you want.
See, I've never been on one because I can
Yeah.
walk faster
I can't
than
imagine
those
getting on it and just standing though.
No.
Well, if you're real tired, or you
No,
need a
I'd
little
say,
break.
you gotta walk.
aside from any medical condition, I say if you go on that and you stand, you're lazy. End of story.
Maybe you're just carrying a heavy
No,
bag.
you're lazy. If it's the dad,
No excuse.
it's
it
the
my
dad
turn?
in me coming
Yeah.
out. You're lazy.
Get a job.
If I saw my daughter on that, I'd be like, do not walk on that thing. Walk. Use those legs.
So, Joe, John, or Mindy, why don't you guys ever have a viewer on Mr. Curiosity once in a while? Because I have listened and watched the podcast and would like to be a viewer on it properly, like most other viewers and listeners. Joey.
Joey would like to come on to Mr. Curiosity? Huh.
Well, so the evolution of this podcast started out with all viewers. They were guests.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and it was all through Zoom, and that was terrible. I hated it, talking to someone on a monitor.
Oh, yeah.
And then right after COVID started to end, we weren't allowed to have many people here. I don't even know if we still are. What do you think, Shawn?
I think
It's
a
sketchy.
little now, but
Yeah.
it's still.
Yeah, it's still the whole world has changed. So we can't have a lot of people in the building. We can't have tours anymore. The world has changed. So to have people,
I think
come
that's a
here-
shame, by the way.
Me
It is.
too. Yeah.
That we can't have tours, I think it's a shame.
Yeah, so
That's my opinion.
This may all change in coming days.
It's just
weeks,
more
years.
complicated
It's
now.
more complicated, but we have guests here, and Shawn isn't a viewer, but we've had periodic people come here, and I've had. Didn't we have an outsider here or no?
We had Jose. Is he an
Jose.
outsider?
He's an
He
outsider.
could be considered an outsider.
Yeah, and if you go back to the
In many,
viewers,
many
but
ways.
definitely had, the very first episode that was about Mrs. T.
Mrs. T's Brogy,
Yeah.
Tom Clark. We've had a lot of outsiders, or at least now outsiders here. But we're going to evolve through.
So are
this
you saying a
podcast.
big fat no to Joey? Is that what you're saying?
Joey? What do you have to offer? That's what I want to say. Joey, what do you have?
Oh.
What's going to make you interesting, Joey? Come on, tell me about.
I think
yourself.
Joey's interesting.
All right.
It could be someone here that stands on escalators. No, I'm not going to have these people.
Shawn, it's your turn.
or brings presents to weddings. No, I don't want those people.
You don't
here.
want the present people?
Or it could be a person with their mouth agape in the passing lane on the highway. We can't have them.
I feel like this is similar to one from the past, but I'll ask it anyway.
Okay.
What is the minimal amount of money it would take for you to sleep overnight, a full 8 hours, in a random porta-potty that was used all day at a county fair?
That was used
There's also stipulations.
We will end with this
There
one.
are-
This is good.
wait,
All right,
there's-
wait.
And there's stipulations.
Look at John.
As
Look
if
at
it-
the face. Look at the face.
As if that wasn't bad enough, there are stipulations. The door must be closed, but you can bring your own pillow and blanket.
Oh, gross.
The county fair was in there?
Wait,
Minimal,
what do we have to come up with? A price tag?
minimal
All right,
amount
so
of money
I'm
it
gonna
would take
let's-
for you to
Shawn,
spend the
you
night.
have to. All four of us have to really think about this. Okay, it's been at a county fair all day.
Used all day.
I don't
Door
even
must
like
be
going in
closed
there
8
when it's
hours.
been all
No,
day.
They're so awful.
Can you
Yeah.
survive 8 hours in a
I don't
fully
know.
used
Does that say anything
porta-potty?
about like the usage? Is it average?
Used
heavy?
all day?
Well, used
Just
all
used
day.
all day at a
Usage,
county fair.
Which
So a lot of
county?
fried
And remember,
foods.
it's warm. It's county fair, so the
Yeah,
weather's
Fair
warm.
season's generally in the summer.
So let's all come up with numbers.
We've got to
and say
come
it at
out
the
with
sa-
the amount.
Minimal
Let's come up
amount
with
it would take.
Yeah, we have to say it at the same time, or at least write it down so no one's influenced by anyone else. Because I don't. All right, I'm gonna. And you have to be honest. Don't try to be. Oh, I'm too cool for that. I have to sleep in this thing,
For 8 hours?
and I can bring my own pillow and blanket.
Yep.
So I can use the blanket
Full
to
8
cover
hours
up
Ooh,
day
the.
I would
closed.
want to bring my own pillow.
You can
right.
wash the blanket
No,
though.
I'd never use it
You
again.
just no. You never use it, but you can use that to cover up the toilet part, the hole.
That's true.
Oh, now you're starting to think in like the making it
block this. You
have
use
a-
it as a tool.
All right, I have a sheet of paper. I'm going to put my...
And it's a
everyone will do
normal
this.
size
We're all
porta
gonna-
potty because
I
John's
threw
tall.
away
It's going
all
to be
my
hard for
questions, So I
him.
don't have a piece of paper.
All right, and then we'll show
Can
our...
I have your pen?
Normal
he has
size,
it
I
now.
don't fit very well, anyways. Let's be
I know.
clear.
It's one night of your life. Come on.
It's one
I
night.
don't want to influence you guys, so...
You don't have kids in college anymore, Joe.
Yeah,
Mindy.
Oh, sorry.
we'll see. We'll see just who...
I'm going to say.
We'll see who
This is such a random.
the elitists are here, right? All
Wait,
right.
why? What's elite? More
Like, I'm too
or
good
less?
for that. All right, so...
This is just the first number that popped into my head.
Yeah, well,
There's no real
yeah,
rhyme or reason to
all right,
it.
good. So the numbers are, we can go in order now because the numbers, you can't change this.
Yeah,
All right, what is
it's
yours?
written down.
$100 million.
Are you
100
serious?
Whoa,
million.
whoa, whoa.
Wow. So you
He
wouldn't do
put
it.
$100 million.
So you don't want to do it at all.
He's a high-class snob. Here's my
What's
number,
yours?
$5,000.
5,000 you're going to do
no,
it
that's
for?
low.
$5,000.
No way. Not for 5,000.
Remember,
so embarrassed.
Remember, I grew up with a pack of wolves.
Mindy, you're not
Mindy,
sleeping.
Mindy said $20.
What'd she say? $100?
I said 2,500.
No, that's I think that's
than
in the
half.
You would
ballpark.
do
That's in
it
the
for
ballpark. That's-
$2,500?
I think I
No, that's in
would.
the, I would. You know what? I would
think
probably
I
do that
would.
for 2,500.
For 2,500, I would do it.
Oh,
I
no.
don't.
200,000.
I mean, are you serious?
Mindy, these two snobs.
Highfalutin
I'm not.
snobs.
It's
do
only
they
human
think they
waste. It's
are?
in the purple fluid. It's,
It's so
sterilized.
gross.
It's
Right.
one night of your life.
It's one night.
I
But for
barely.
only $5,000?
2,500. Talk to her, not me.
I barely even fit in the thing to begin with. I barely even fit in those things to begin with when I go in. And
It's one night.
No.
8 hours.
8
you could do
hours,
it.
you guys
you
are
could
sick.
Yeah,
probably.
but my thought is if the person's willing to pay you whatever you're asking to do it, why not go with a huge number?
I don't think that
Maybe
was
you're
implied.
s- maybe you're
it's
smarter
the
than us.
minimal
Mindy's
amount.
only getting 2,000 bucks.
2,500.
Someone's
so
gonna listen to
embarrassed.
this, and at the fairs around the area, they're gonna be chancing off as a charity that Mindy Ramsey
Oh,
is
my
sleeping in
gosh.
the porta potty.
Or
Mindy,
they'll
I
see her
res-
go into one, lock her in.
In.
Like,
And they're gonna be like, "Let's see how much we could raise to keep Mindy in there for the
For
night."
night. Oh my
no,
gosh.
I respect your answer, and that's a woman who has 2 daughters soon in college.
Yes, exactly.
So,
One in college, one soon to be.
yeah,
there you
so
go.
No, you got.
I don't want to
I
spend
can't
8
believe
hours in a
You cover up the hole.
I know,
you
but when you
sleep.
go into a porta potty at the end of a day,
Yeah, it
at
is
an
so
event,
gross.
It is one of the
It's
grossest.
One night of your life.
Yeah, I don't think you could get rid of the smell very soon.
Remember the guy we had on as the pointer with the? We still don't know what that contraption was.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah,
looked like a
cleaning the porta
spatula,
potty.
and we
Yeah.
don't want to know what it does.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't want. It had a little latch on it,
All right.
and it looked like a big spatula.
No, we don't want to know.
No.
Well, see, folks, this is why your questions make the segment. So that was a good one, and we
That was
found out
great.
we
That
found
was a
out
good
Mindy
one.
is the most desperate, cheap, slithering snake here.
I pretty much am.
And let's just put it out there right now. Mindy's not going to do a fundraiser at
Yeah.
every fair
No.
this summer.
Mindy is not going to, but now you know. Now you know the real me.
Keep your questions coming. brownbag@WNEP.com. Thanks for coming, everybody. And Mindy, the bathroom is right over there. Right over there.
I'm not going
girl.
to spend too much time in it.
Curiosity. What are you so curious about? Everything, Mr. Curiosity.